Hi, everybody. Karen Schaal here, and welcome to the Karen Schaal podcast, where we expand the mind and grow the heart. And do hit the subscribe button. It's the easiest way for you to keep up to date with our podcast. Today, we are in the third episode of our 5-part awareness series, and we're talking about something powerful, gratitude. But not in the way you may expect. No thank you notes, no forced smiles, no toxic positivity. This is about how authentic gratitude can actually enhance your awareness. And I have to tell you, gratitude is my most absolute favorite topic in the entire field of personal development. So I'm really excited about this episode. So let's get started. Many of you may know me on social media as Karen Schaal Gratitude Gal. And there's a reason for that. Gratitude doesn't just interest me. Gratitude was instrumental in helping me become more aware. It changed me, how I showed up, how I think, how I relate to the world. My entire brilliance practice is immersed in authentic gratitude. So when I recommend these tools, it's because I use them, I believe in them, and I know they work. So today we're not talking about gratitude as a separate practice. We're talking about it as a companion to awareness. And let me say something here, because I know some of you might be thinking, if I start practicing all this gratitude and awareness stuff, am I going to be a pushover, stop being myself? I get it. I used to think the same thing, that trusting myself, being more compassionate, or choosing gratitude meant I'd lose something, like I'd become a doormat or some overly cheerful robot smiling through chaos. But here's what actually happens. You don't lose your strength. You clarify it. You stop wasting your energy on things that don't matter. You stop reacting to every little thing, and you start acting from a place that's grounded and more in alignment with what you value. Gratitude doesn't erase your personality. It amplifies the best parts of you, your insight, your discernment, your power, and it tempers the reactive parts that tend to cause regret. That's not being a pushover. That's being intentional. And honestly, that's where real strength lives. So when we talk about awareness, we're not just talking about noticing what's happening around us. We're talking about activating some of the most sophisticated human parts of the brain. Gratitude, in other words, turns the lights on. It doesn't just help you feel better, it helps you see better. You start catching patterns. You notice your tone. You pick up on what lifts you up and what drains you. You recognize those tiny decision points throughout your day, the ones that used to slip by. And here's what's key. This kind of awareness does not come from force. It does not come from shame or guilt. It comes from softening into gratitude, from choosing to notice what's good, what's working, what's worth growing. And if you're building a practice of awareness, like we are in this series, then gratitude isn't just helpful, it's essential. It's the perspective shifter, the lens polisher, the tool that lets you see yourself and your life with a little more truth and a lot more compassion. And when awareness is paired with that kind of perspective, you start to change, not all at once, but steadily, surely, from the inside out. Psychologist Joshua Brown's studies show gratitude activates brain regions associated with moral cognition, value judgment, and theory of mind. This is really important information in understanding how gratitude works in the development of self-awareness. Let's look at these 3 points. Moral cognition is the ability to simply recognize right from wrong and to make ethical evaluations. It's the part of your awareness that evaluates whether your actions are aligned with your values. And that's exactly what you do when you practice a daily review. of how your day went when you pause and reflect through gratitude. This causes you to become more sensitive to your inner alignment and to be in tune with how your actions reflect your deeper beliefs and values. You may ask yourself, is this aligned with who I want to be? Am I headed in the right direction? Value judgment, the second point, refers to how you assess the worth of or importance of something based on your internal values. This is how you determine what really matters. Gratitude actually refines this process. You begin noticing what you appreciate, what is uplifting, and what you care about. By focusing your attention on what you appreciate, you're reinforcing the importance of those things. This awareness doesn't just feel good. It's how gratitude subtly reshapes what you notice, what you pursue, and the choices you make. This is why Bono talks about gratitude being a positive modifier. It actually transforms, changes, and modifies your thoughts, emotions, and actions towards the positive, towards goodness. And that's pretty remarkable. And this is research-based. Gratitude is activating the regions of the brain associated with moral cognition and value judgment. That's powerful. And we have one more, the theory of mind. The theory of mind is your ability to recognize that other people have different thoughts, beliefs, and feelings than you. It's a huge part of social awareness and emotional intelligence. When gratitude activates this region, it helps you to become more empathetic, more attuned, and more connected to the people around you. And you can see the importance of this in developing awareness. Remember the woman in our first podcast that didn't realize her words were hurting people? Based on this research, a practice of awareness infused with gratitude would have brought her to a greater understanding of other people's thoughts and feelings much sooner. And let's pause on this for a second, because this isn't just an interesting brain fact. It's a game changer for your personal growth. When these areas of the brain light up, moral cognition, value judgment, theory of mind, what's really happening is that you're waking up to who you are. You're not just reacting to life, you're starting to direct it. You're seeing what matters. You're feeling the ethical weight of your choices. You're becoming aware of how you affect others and how they affect you. This is the core of any real lasting change. It's not just about behavior. It's about who you're becoming. And gratitude is the key that turns that awareness on. When practiced authentically, gratitude gently shifts you into this elevated space, a space where you're more honest, more awake, more aligned. And that kind of awareness, it changes your life. Now, you've probably noticed by now that awareness isn't just about observing your life like a detached bystander. It's about what happens after you notice. It's about the decisions you make with that information. And here's where gratitude comes in as a kind of internal compass. Because when you begin practicing gratitude regularly, even in small ways, you start gravitating towards what's good. You're actively training your attention to look for goodness in yourself, in others, in your day. And the more you look for it, the more it shows up. Not because the world suddenly changes, but because you do. Your filter shifts, your choices shift, and that matters because life is built on the choices we make in ordinary moments. Let me share something personal here. When I began practicing authentic gratitude, it didn't take long before I realized there were no shortcuts, none. I had to make choices to be grateful instead of grumpy, to be kind instead of curt, to actually listen in a conversation instead of just nodding while mentally checking my to-do list. And those choices kept repeating themselves over and over again. But what awareness did, what gratitude allowed, was to bring those choices into the light. They weren't buried in habit anymore. They were visible, available, and they offered me a way forward. Here's what's beautiful about this. Every time you choose what's good, you strengthen your inner foundation. This isn't about being fake happy or overly positive. It's about cultivating a mindset that keeps pointing you towards what matters. And when you do that over time, you start to notice you're becoming someone different, not because you forced it, but because you chose it, because you kept choosing goodness, and goodness changed you. So when we talk about gratitude as a practice of awareness, what we're really saying is this. Gratitude gives you eyes to see what matters. Awareness gives you the presence to catch it. And together, they give you the power to act on it, not once, not perfectly, but consistently. That's where real transformation begins. So let's bring this down to the real world. You're in the middle of your day. Maybe someone cuts you off in traffic. Your inbox just exploded. A text comes through that throws you off. You're tired. You're triggered. This is where awareness can easily go out the window. But here's the shift. This is also where a practiced mindset of gratitude can step in. Now, I don't mean forcing yourself to feel thankful for things that genuinely frustrate you. That's bypassing. That's not awareness. What I'm talking about is this. Having practiced gratitude enough that your brain remembers it, even under pressure. Because gratitude, when it's authentic and practiced consistently, starts to become accessible in the moment. That pause you create through awareness, gratitude can fill it, even if it's just for a second. You take a break, you take a breath, you feel the seat under you. You remember you've made it through worse and something loosens. And that moment, tiny as it is, might be all it takes to choose your response instead of just reacting. And over time, these moments add up because every time you access that awareness, every time you link it with appreciation or clarity, you're reinforcing a neural pathway. And that's how real change begins. You're training yourself through repetition to return to presence. And when that presence is paired with a mindset that's tuned to notice what's working, even in tough situations, you build resilience. Not fake it till you make it resilience, but the kind that grows from choosing, moment by moment, to lean into awareness, supported by gratitude. So yes, it's simple, but don't let that fool you. It's also powerful. Because when the difficult moment passes, and it will, you didn't just survive it. You practiced something. You expanded your capacity. You lived your brilliance a little more clearly, and that's something to be grateful for. Let's bring this down to earth because all of this, gratitude, awareness, choosing goodness, it sounds great in theory. But how do we actually live it? Let's get practical. Start by picking one moment in your day, just one, and decide to show up to it differently. It could be how you wake up in the morning. Instead of rushing, pause, breathe, name something, anything that you're grateful for. It could be how you interact with a difficult coworker. Instead of reacting, soften, listen, see if there's something, even something small, to appreciate about them. It could be how you end your day. Maybe you begin a simple what went well practice where you name 3 things that went well that day. That's a tool pulled straight from positive psychology research, and it's simple but powerful. Whatever moment you choose, let it be yours. Make it personal. Gratitude and awareness are not about perfection. They're about participation, about presence, about showing up. And when you begin to show up consistently, even just to one small practice, you start to trust yourself more because you're keeping a promise to yourself. You're showing yourself that your choices matter, and that builds something internal and lasting. Confidence established through action. You're not waiting for your life to change. You're participating in the changing of your life. That's the brilliance of this work. You don't have to do everything. You just have to do something with consistency, with intention, and with heart. And if you fall off, if you forget, just begin again. The pathway of awareness is not linear, but it is forward moving. Every pause, every noticing, every moment of gratitude, it's a vote for who you're becoming, and it's worth it. We have covered a lot in this episode. So here's what I hope you're walking away with. Gratitude is not just about feeling good. It's about seeing clearly. It's a lens that sharpens your awareness. Practicing gratitude activates brain regions tied to moral cognition, value judgment, and empathy, which all support you in making better, more aligned choices. Authentic gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's meaningful, helping you to anchor your awareness in what actually matters. Awareness isn't built by analyzing everything. It's built by showing up moment by moment with presence and appreciation. You don't have to overhaul your life to practice this. Start with one moment, one pause, one small act of gratitude, one small act of noticing. And when you practice consistently, you build self-trust. And that self-trust becomes the foundation for deeper awareness, better choices, and real transformation. And remember, you're not doing this to become someone else. You're doing this to become more of who you truly are. This is pretty powerful stuff. If this episode sparks something for you, please share it with someone who needs it, maybe a friend, a family member, or someone who's been wanting to make a change but doesn't know where to start. And if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next episode in this awareness series. We've got more practical, powerful tools coming your way. And hey, if you're enjoying the podcast, leave a rating or review. It helps others find the show and be part of this growing community. So until next time, everybody, remember your brilliance. And let's be the very best we can be. Let's be grateful. Bye-bye.